The Nintendo Switch eShop is currently having its biggest sale ever with the Nintendo Switch eShop Summer Sale. There are over 1,000 games on sale right now on the Switch eShop, so we're going to go over every single one of these games in great detail so I can get that sweet, sweet ad revenue. No, I'm just kidding, but we are going to highlight the games that I recommend from this list because there are a lot of great games that are on sale right now that I think you guys should be well aware of. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about the Nintendo Switch eShop Summer Sale and what games I recommend. Now, to kick things off, the Nintendo Switch eShop Summer Sale is going until June 16th. And of course, a couple days ago on the channel, we talked about some Resident Evil games that were also on sale on the Nintendo Switch eShop. And those sales are also going until June 16th as well. So depending on when you're watching this video, you have quite a bit of time to access these deals and take advantage of these deals. But to start things off, I want to highlight two games that I feel are the best value in terms of the sale itself and the game itself. The first game I want to talk about is Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. Now, this game originally released for $29.99. Fantastic game. We reviewed it on the channel. I had an absolute blast playing it, and right now it is the cheapest that I have ever seen it at just $11.99. Now, if you're a fan of Ghostbusters, you probably already own this game, but if you've sort of been on the fence about it, even if you're just looking for a fun action adventure game set in a unique universe sort of based in the 80s, you're gonna have a really good time with this game. The script writing in it is absolutely phenomenal. The story itself is really good. There's some really sort of iconic moments, and it's essentially the third Ghostbusters movie. I highly recommend Ghostbusters, the video game remastered for the Nintendo Switch. I recommended it at $29.99, so at $11.99, this really should be a no-brainer for you. The next game I want to highlight is the Sega Genesis Classics Collection. Now, this game is also a game that released at $29.99. We've seen it on sale a couple times, but I believe this is the cheapest I've ever seen it at just $11.99. And what is the Sega Genesis Classics Collection? I mean, read the title of it. It's a classic collection of Sega Genesis games. So you've got games like Sonic the Hedgehog, you have games like Streets of Rage, you have games like Golden Axe, Vector Man. A lot of Sega Genesis games that you probably grew up playing or maybe grew up reading about are now on sale in this compilation. There are over 40 games available in this compilation, and I think this is just a great value. Of course, when you compare it to things like the NES and the SNES online service, you pretty much just rent those games essentially as a part of the online service, whereas this, you basically have a virtual console for Sega Genesis in the palm of your hand. Like I said, the Sega Genesis Classic Collection is available for $11.99, and I definitely recommend you guys pick this up. Panzer Dragoon Remake might have just come out for the Nintendo Switch pretty recently, but now it's on sale for just $19.99. Now, this game originally released at $24.99, and of course, we reviewed the game on the channel as I am a Sega fanboy and a fan of the Panzer Dragoon series. I really like this version of the game, but I did have a few gripes about it, such as the content. Some of the content was missing as far as the additional content that was in the Sega Saturn version, such as Episode 0, and of course, the cheat codes. But since then, there's actually been a patch done to this game that adds in 60 frames per second and adds in the additional stuff that was in the Sega Saturn version, such as Episode 0 and of course the cheat codes into the Nintendo Switch version of the game. So now really this is the definitive version of Panzer Dragoon. If you like games like Star Fox, I think you're really going to enjoy this game, as it definitely plays a lot like a Star Fox, just with a bit more control, as you can turn around in 360 degrees to attack enemies on the sides and behind you, of course. There's some really cool boss battles. The visuals look very nice as well. Just an absolute bargain at $19.99. I feel like if you've ever been interested in this game or you are a fan of the Star Fox franchise, Panzer Dragoon Remake definitely needs to be on your list. One of my favorite open world games on the Nintendo Switch is currently on sale as well, and that is The Witcher 3, available for $41.99. Now, The Witcher 3 is actually a game that I've been playing through once again pretty recently, just strictly in handheld mode, because I'm blown away with just how good they managed to make this game look. Of course, when The Witcher 3 came out initially on the Nintendo Switch, there were some complaints about the visuals being a bit downgraded as far as muddy textures and things like that, but Saber Interactive actually came along and added in additional graphical features that you could access in the game to sort of increase things like the sharpness and the bloom effects that are done in the game, and it really just made for a much more highly customizable experience for The Witcher 3 on the Nintendo Switch. There's tons of quests to do, there's tons of side quests, the world itself is very interesting, the combat is very fun. The Witcher 3 is arguably one of the greatest games of all time, and I feel like the Nintendo Switch version of the game is a great representation of what the game is all about, especially considering that you can play this game in handheld handheld mode. Now, if you have a PS4 or an Xbox One and you don't care about handheld mode, you're probably better off checking out those versions of the game. But if you like playing the games in handheld mode, I think The Witcher 3 on the Nintendo Switch is an absolutely fantastic addition to your library. And like I said, this game is available for $41.99. RPGs are of course very popular on the Nintendo Switch, and one of the best RPGs on the system, Dragon Quest XI, is currently on sale for $41.99. Now, I wouldn't say Dragon Quest XI is like the most modern RPG. It definitely feels a bit more reserved in terms of how the game plays out and whatnot. It definitely feels sort of like a throwback to more classic RPGs, but I appreciate that about the game. It's a bit more straightforward than your traditional RPGs that you're seeing nowadays, but I think that makes for a bit of a more cohesive game, as there isn't a lot of side stuff to get you deviated. The voice acting in the game is tremendous. The music is a little bit quirky, but I kinda like it. And of course, there are Nintendo Switch specific features in this game that are not available on the PS4 version of the game. I think the graphical style of the game is very nice. The combat is very fun as well. So if you're looking for a new RPG to sink a lot of time into, Dragon Quest XI at just $41.99 is definitely a game I recommend. One of my favorite games of 2019 was Astral Chain on the Nintendo Switch, and Astral Chain is available for $47.99 during the Switch eShop summer sale. Astral Chain is a classic platinum game. I think the gameplay in it is absolutely fantastic. There is a little bit of weird platforming from time to time, but it definitely doesn't take away from the core game experience. There's a lot of replay value in the game as well, a lot of hidden secrets, a great graphical engine, and just a really fun game overall. It's kind of different than a lot of Nintendo Switch games in terms of how it feels more like a PS4 or an Xbox One action adventure game, but I really feel like Astral Chain is one of the best games on the Nintendo Switch. Just a great game top to bottom. The combat is really fun, and you can do a lot of things as far as customizing your combat as well. So a great game. It's definitely more of a hardcore experience, but if you're looking for something like that, at $47.99, Astral Chain is definitely worth checking out. Speaking of more hardcore experiences, first-person shooters aren't all that common on the Nintendo Switch, but my favorite one, Doom, is currently on sale for $29.99, and I definitely recommend picking it up. It looks absolutely fantastic. It plays great. It's fast-paced. You're blowing away demons and other sorts of weird creatures on Mars, and it's just a really fun game top to bottom. The story isn't all that great, but I don't care about that. I just want to blast different demons and blast different characters with a wide variety of guns, and Doom really brings that to the table. Doom also has a very fun online system as well that I'm actually sort of disappointed that Doom Eternal did not adopt. I really like the multiplayer in Doom, either on the PS4 or the Nintendo Switch. I think it's a hell of a lot of fun, and something that isn't well represented on the Nintendo Switch in general when it comes to first-person online shooters. Doom is available for $29.99. If you haven't picked it up yet and you're waiting for Doom Eternal to come out, I definitely recommend picking it up. There's a few first-party titles on the Nintendo Switch eShop summer sale right now, and if you have to pick one of them, I don't say pick New Super Mario Bros. U, I say pick Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze at $41.99, because I think Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, it's really an underrated game, and that's kind of weird to say that because it's a Donkey Kong first-party game, but I feel like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, like, nobody talks about it. It is arguably one of the best 2D platformers in recent memory. The graphics are fantastic. The gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. The music is just top notch. Like, top to bottom, this is an awesome game, and I feel like because it is a 2D platformer, some people just sort of overlook it. There's a huge challenge with this game. It is very difficult, but I think that makes for a better experience, especially when you compare it to easier games like Kirby Star Allies, which is also on sale. So if you only pick one first-party Nintendo Switch title in this eShop sale, make it Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze at $41.99. Speaking of platforming games, what about 3D platformers? New Super Lucky's Tales is available on the Nintendo Switch during this eShop sale for just $27.99, and the game usually is $39.99. And you know what? I reviewed this game and I actually really liked it. I liked it way more than I thought I would because it's just a really well done 3D platformer. The platforming itself is very fun. There's lots of secrets to uncover in the levels as well. The graphics in the game look really nice. The music is well done as well. It's just a very top-notch 3D platformer that originally came out on the Xbox One, but the Nintendo Switch ended up getting a better version of that game with things like new levels, better graphics, and a better camera control system. I really think New Super Lucky's Tale on the Nintendo Switch is a super underrated game, so if you've never checked it out, be sure to check out my review because I think I can convince you guys that at $27.99, it's definitely worth checking out. And the final 3 games I want to talk about are 3 different collections on the Nintendo Switch that I think everyone needs to have in their collection. The first one is the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, available for $14.99. You literally get every version of Street Fighter 2 ever released in this compilation. There's also Street Fighter 3. There's also some Street Fighter Alpha mixed in here. Like, if you like 2D fighting games, you need to buy this because it is just a fantastic compilation of some of the best Street Fighter games of all time, arguably the best Street Fighter games of all time. I will die on that hill, as Street Fighter 2 is probably my favorite 2D fighter of all time, but just an absolutely fantastic collection. There's lots of cool additional stuff as well, such as artwork and character sketches. Just a great compilation top to bottom, and at just $14.99, definitely worth checking out. And the final 2 games are the Contra and the Castlevania collection. Now, both of these collections are available for $9.99 a piece, and really, I don't think I need to explain these. You get a compilation of Contra games, you get a compilation of Castlevania games pre-Symphony of the Night era, and it's just a great value because you're getting a really great glimpse into these classic franchises that have just really gone away. Like, where's a great Contra game in 2020? Where's a great Castlevania game in 2020? You're not getting them anytime soon, so why not relive the classics in these 2 compilations? These compilations, like I said, are available for just $9.99, and I highly recommend them. Alright, so that is just a sampling of the games that are available on this Nintendo Switch eShop summer sale. Like I said, there are over 1,000 games, with no hyperbole, that are on sale on the Nintendo Switch eShop right now, so there's going to be something for everyone. These are just the games that stood out to me because they are games that I definitely really enjoy. So let me know in the comment section down below what games you recommend from this sale as well, and maybe I'll check out some of those games. And let me know in the comment section also what games you plan on picking up in this summer sale, if any at all. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Be sure to check out other videos on the channel as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.